Welcome into the Fun Astrology Podcast for April 14th. It's Hump Day. I'm still in a time warp, but we'll call it Hump Day. It's the thing right up here. It says Wednesday. Right on the chart. So we'll go with that, and welcome in. Glad you're joining us. If you are brand new to this thing, I just moved over the past weekend from Florida up to North Carolina, and wow, what a transition. Amazing. You know, I just kind of pinch myself because between 2015, 16, 17, I was in Colorado and then Florida for a while, and now up in the Smoky Mountains of North Carolina, kind of executing a plan I had created and visualized and am manifesting that when my kids were in school, I was planning to do this. So even though it seems like following the bouncing ball, this was somewhat according to plan. So anyway, along the journey we go, and what I'm reflecting on this morning is Aries, because the world is becoming a very interesting place, is it not? And I'm mostly talking about some of the headlines over the last 48 to 72 hours. And this is not just in the United States. This is worldwide that things are really getting tense. We talked a couple of weeks ago, we did a podcast on this. We did an episode on the stellium stacked up in Aries. So this is not just a sun transit, which, by the way, is almost over. We've got about another week. But this is about the energy that was in Aries. Now, we're going to have a breakthrough today because Venus will move into Taurus this afternoon. That's at 2:16 p.m. this afternoon. What else is in Taurus? Uranus and the moon, at least through the rest of today. The moon moves into Gemini at 2:34 tomorrow morning Eastern Time. So definitely a little bit of Taurian energy to consider there, but Venus will move in this afternoon. So that takes one chip off the Aries block. But the sun today is at 24 degrees Aries, which is right where Eris is sitting. Now, Eris is double the distance from Pluto, but has been brought into astrological significance since 2005. Still relatively new, and a lot of people have not studied it that much. One guy that I follow and actually bought his software early on when I was starting to do all of this, Henry Seltzer. He makes the Time Passages program. Many of you have downloaded his phone app. Well, that's Henry, and he is probably one of the top experts in the world on Eris. But basically, Eris is Mars' sister, and it's all about angst and challenge and war with a feminine perspective, while Mars is more of a masculine perspective. There's a whole study on Eris that we're not going to go into here, but just know that the sun is sitting on that exact point, and it is sextile to Mars in Gemini at 24 degrees Gemini. So you've got 24 Eris, 24 Sun, 24 Mars. Now, because of my move, I am not doing this early in the morning on Wednesday. I will admit this had to be done on Tuesday because of my schedule. But as I'm reading today's headlines, shooting in Knoxville, Tennessee High School, shooting in Minneapolis where an officer fired a gun instead of a taser at a suspect, Japan getting ready to dump 100 tons of radioactive wastewater into the ocean. I'm telling you, any way you look at that in any house or sign or planet perspective, that's just dead wrong. Russia telling the United States, stay out of the Black Sea. Military escalation. China telling the United States, forget about Taiwan. And why, again, is the United States military starting to mobilize in these places around the world? I know this gets a little bit political, and we can't broach these things without talking about some of the things that affect our countries, and that lands in the lap of politics. But it is also very much driven by this Aryan energy. So we have this tension that has been building. Will it dither out? Yes. The good news is, if we can just tolerate the next week or so, this thing should dither out some. Venus moves out today. The sun in a week. Mercury moves out in about the same time frame. So this is going to shift into Taurus. Taurus is all about balance and harmony and the earth and singing Kumbaya under the eucalyptus tree. Now, the other aspect that I think we should point out and take a look at in this context and in this consideration is Mars will semi-square Uranus this afternoon, 4:16 p.m. Eastern Time. The semi-square is considered a cousin to the square. It is considered a lesser aspect. It is 45 degrees, so we're basically talking about the next sign over. So Uranus is in Taurus. The next zodiacal sign is Gemini. That's where Mars is, and they are 45 degrees apart. So it's really, some people don't even hardly consider it. But I think in this context, because there is so much loaded up energy around Aries, Mars, of course, the ruler of Aries, everything's sitting at 24 degrees, and now you bring Uranus into it, just saying, watch for the unexpected, and it could be an intense type situation. That seems to be the general pulse of the energy that's in the sky today. Now, there are some trines and some sextiles, and we will get to those tomorrow because one of them involves Jupiter. Thank goodness. Hang in there, folks. Aries, the Aries stellium is going to bust up soon enough. All right? Have a great day. Just take your umbrella to work. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.